We will continue investigating curriculum and language teaching and how the element of principles, which we already discussed in greater length in some of our previous modules in the course. We will revisit the element of principles and we will try to understand its implications for our own language teaching. Right. Uh, you know, there has been much debate going on about the which is best method and uh, which is magic method, or and then we've got this debate going on from early dawn of language teaching, for example, from 1950s to 1970s till the advent of communicative approach. So before I discuss this element of principles, then I would just like you to take a little pause and think what you understand by the term principles of teaching. You could you could take a pause and think again, what's the answer to how language should be taught and learned? Another question, why different situations require different approaches or methods, right? Well, like I said before, there has been heated debate going on about finding out the best method. But fortunately, recently, there has been some debates going on about reduction in the uses of methods rather than sticking to the principled approach towards language teaching or relying to some of the principles of language teaching. Well, what's the best method? I would say there is no right answer. It depends upon the learners. And I remember Prabhu's argument, no method is good or bad. It's the learner's context which determines the success or failure of a method, right? So rather than sticking to one method, it's better to, become eclectic or sort of employing the principle which is suitable to our learners, right? So this could have the principles. What's the source where we could learn from, learn about these principles of language teaching? Well, I would say through our own observation, through our own language teaching experiences, and through research which is going on, and through our own professional, development, continuous professional development programs, right? So what we experience, and some of you or most of you might be experiencing these questions on daily basis. What will this activity be good for my learners? And how we can address this question is through employing principles of language teaching as discussed throughout this course, right? Are they doing enough reading? What else should I do if my learners are not doing enough reading? Again, you could review some of the discussion about principles. Is it good to get them memorize phrases or words? And should I do the same activity again? Should they be doing homework? So these are the questions which we experience, which intrigue us on daily basis. And in order to find answers to these questions, we might be working at the level of principles. We might be working at the level of becoming eclectic instead of sticking to one method and prove that we are method bound teachers. So this is how principles, you could review some of the modules on principles and see how principles could be used for to enhance our own language teaching practice on daily basis.